Got a big screen in front of me in case you're wondering why I'm always looking up. Have a lot of equipment out here, so sometimes it makes me have to look all around to get everything. Okay, the recording has started there. There we go. All right. So it was interesting. I read all your responses and I was looking at the questions that we hate the most. And it's uh, part of it was I'm happy to see that with working with the elevator pitch, we are knocking out some of the bigger ones. And that is, you know, tell me a little bit about yourself. Remember, we work on that elevator pitch. We polish that elevator pitch because that elevator pitch answers that question. Tell me about yourself. This is why we do that. That introductory question, that one that everybody dreads, that tell me about yourself, that gets you through so many things. You can put that on the top of your resume. You can use that when you're networking. You can use that as an icebreaker in so many places, and that answers that question. Tell me about yourself. Okay, so that is something that is critical. The other thing you have to realize when people are asking questions, they are asking in relationship to work. Okay, they are not asking to be personal. And so don't take it as such. Some people tend to be offended. Why are you applying here? They're not asking, do you need money? Okay, that is not, there are a number of places you can apply. What they want to know is what set them above the others. So think about that. That's what they want to hear. Why did you think they were better to apply than the other places? Think about the questions from the person who's asking in that sense. Everybody knows we work for money, right? We work for money. We're not just going out there, gee, I've got hours to kill, right? We work for money, okay? So what they want to know is what is making you feel that you are a better fit with this company over the others. You decided to apply there. So that's what they're asking. Why did you choose this company? What makes you feel that you're a better fit here than any place else? Now, if you're just randomly choosing places, you stand a good chance of not being happy wherever you go. If you're just applying, and not picking where you want to go, you deserve the job you get. I told you I'm going to be brutally honest. The workforce is brutally honest, okay? That's the way it is. Businesses are just out to make money. Yes, that's their job. Do you ever see a job application that says likes long walks on the beach, holding hands, network, or watching Netflix? You don't see that in an ad. They're not looking for a friend. They are in it to make money. They want to know why you feel that you are a fit for them. So think about that. Now, uh, some questions were definitely related to more personal aspects of it. Um, where do you see yourself in 5, 10 years? How many realize we're doing career plans? Okay, one person's going to pass the class. Everybody knows we're doing career plans. This is like a third of your grade in this course. So every single hand should be up because you're in big trouble. If you haven't figured out we're doing career plans with long-term, short-term goals, you should know where you're going because if you don't know where you're going, that's exactly where you're going to end. Nowhere. This class is brutally honest. We're not handling you with kid gloves going, here's a sippy cup, here's a this, here's a that, here's a... No. If you don't perform on the job, you're going to get cut. Okay? I'll tell you, this is how things are. I give you a project on the job. You have 4 weeks to do it. 2 weeks in, I ask you where your progress is. If your progress isn't at a certain point, I give you 4 hours on Monday. I give you 4 hours on Friday. Okay, think about that. You cannot survive on 8 hours in a week. The next week, I'm going to give you 4 hours on Monday in the first week, 4 hours on Friday in the second week. How many people are going to quit? How many people would quit? With 8 hours in 2 weeks, how many people would have to quit and find another job? Oh, the rest of you must have a lot of money. I would have to quit. The rest of you can survive on 8 hours pay in 2 weeks. You guys have buku bucks. You shouldn't even have to work. Or you're just not paying attention in the class right now. Okay? Reason why I do that, you quit. You quit in Florida, you don't qualify for unemployment because unemployment will cost me. So I'm going to make your work schedule so horrible you have to quit. Business isn't polite. Okay? You have to perform at certain levels. I'm telling you these things for a reason. You have to find jobs that fit you. You have to find companies that fit you, fit your ethics, fit your work level, fit that work the way you work. Does everybody understand this? Yes? Okay, some of y'all are waking up. Okay. This is why we research companies. You have to find one that fits. If you're just, oh, I'm going to apply in 12 companies and see who hires me, you're missing the point. You need to find the ones that fit you. So this is why we do researches. This is why we find the ones that are best fitting for us. How many people want to be happy in their job? Yeah. Okay. Money is not everything. Okay. You might make a little bit more money in a job where you're miserable, but you're going to spend more money trying to be happy. So your overall wealth is going to drop. You understand that you're not going to have as much overall income if you're trying to compensate for your misery. So you have to think about these things. So these are some of the things. So this is why I ask, what is the most hated questions? So you can understand. How many hate the question, what is your biggest weakness? Only one person, a couple people? Yeah, wake up, folks. You're going to get these questions, and then you're going to sit there, and that question could be the difference between you getting your dream career and not. So think about that. We all have weaknesses. Okay, one of my weaknesses, I care so much, I may overestimate what I can do. Anybody do this? You take on too much. Yeah. Okay. So this is my biggest weakness. I take on too much. So what I learned to do and I work on is delegating tasks to other people. Here's something. How many people work with somebody that's always coming up and giving their work to other people and then they have no work? Anybody work with somebody like this? Somebody comes up to you, gives you work, say, I'll be glad to do that for you, but I need you to do this for me. Every time they give you something, you give them something back. I guarantee you they'll stop trying to give you work. Okay? This is a valid thing to do. The other thing, how many people have somebody come up to you with a piece of paper and what do? You instinctively take it from them. How many people do this? They go to hand you a piece of paper and you take it from them. Don't. Why do you do this? Take your two hands, put them behind your back, and look at the piece of paper. Let them hold it. Because as soon as you take that piece of paper, it's your responsibility. Okay? So this is how you work on it. It's a valid answer to a weakness. So practice these things. These questions are going to come up. All right? Everybody got that? Practice before. This is how you get the leg up on the people who don't. It's a competition. Okay? You be prepared. They won't. Do you see how you will excel above them? There's a reason why we do these things. All right? So, pardon me. You guys did incredible on those questions. Your responses were great. Some of the things, I don't want to point somebody out here, but somebody was asked to do something to alter their physical appearance. Horrible, horrible. If anybody ever asks you to do something like that, really think the logistics of that company. I worked for a vet office, and we ended up with a manager who got it in his head that everybody in the front desk should be a pencil thin female blonde with long hair. How many people have seen pet owners? How many people have seen pet owners? Do they look pencil thin, long blonde hair? I'll give you a hint. I work with a lot of exotic animals, a lot of reptile owners. They are freaks like me, okay? You don't see my tattoos. I have them below the sleeves and everywhere. Other things, I used to have mohawks. I love my punk rock, things like that. Now I don't have hair, but I used to rock my green and blue mohawks back in the 80s and that. We lost clientele because they couldn't relate. People asking you to alter things that do not make sense. Think about that company. Look at their websites. Look at the way their culture is for that company because it may not be the right place for you. Got it? This is why we research. So you guys did incredible on that. So I want you to give yourselves a hand because these things are important and this is why we do that research. Okay? Set yourself up for success. Okay? If you don't do it, you're setting yourself up for less success. Okay? So let's take a look. We're going to do some sharing. Everybody doing good in the class as far as in no questions? Because I'm not getting questions asked. Everybody's doing good. Everybody's getting that stuff in. All right. Okay. If you're behind, I need to hear from you. Get it caught up because come Sunday, week 1 is off the table. It doesn't come back at all, period. You can't go to your campus and say, I need this open. They can't do it. Okay? Doesn't happen. Last week, you're a few points shy of passing. That's on you. You did that. You are in control of your destiny. Fix it. Okay? Here we go. So we're going to do some screen sharing. Here's our screen. Dun, da, da, da. We are in week 2, midterm. Right here, can't stress this enough. Underneath this help button here on the main screen, right there, the midterm study guide. You want the answers to the midterm? Click on that. Here they are. You're going to have to look on here to find them, but they're there. If you want them, you got them, but you're going to have to look for them here. We've covered them in the lectures. If you haven't listened to the lectures, you haven't paid attention in the class, you haven't looked at that book, you're going to have to search through here. I strongly recommend having it when you take it anyway, because it reassures you of your answers. Okay, if you go searching out on Google, just be aware there are mean people out there who have put incorrect answers and then they repeatedly hit that answer over and over so that when you Google those questions, those answers come to the top and you get the wrong answer and you paste it. We have 5 instructors teaching this course. We laugh about this because we see those same incorrect answers come up over and over on these exams, and we know exactly what happened. You Googled it, had no idea that you were putting in the incorrect answer, but it was the most popular one, so that's why it was selected. Know what you need to put in there, okay? So please be aware of that. Like I said, I give you the answers in that guide. So please be aware. The other thing I want to point out here is on the syllabus. Right here, look at this under assignments. Your assignments are 40% of your grade in this class. We did a reshuffle of this course this month, so your assignments count for an astronomical part of this course. So if you're not doing those assignments, you are going to miss out drastically. Last month, the midterm and the final counted a whole lot. So if you concentrated on the midterm and final, you could pass the course relatively easy without doing a large portion of the assignments. Not so this month. The other thing, your attendance doing those daily assignments is 25% of the course. So 1/4 of your grade is doing those daily assignments. So I want to point that out to make sure that everybody is aware where your grades are coming from. So today, you're turning in these informational interviews that you did where you talk to people in your career, the ones that have been done already. Boy, let me tell you, they have been incredible. Those of you that haven't done yours yet, the bar has been raised and it is good. So if you've already done yours, you guys did incredible. You found out good key information. Those of you that are interviewing instructors, some of these people have interviewed instructors. So now you really have tough competition. The people who get it done early really set the bars high. So if you're talking to instructors, you can better believe some of these people did incredible. So now the pressure's on. So think about that when you go to do your assignment. So let's take a look at that real quick here. You're going to come in here. Now remember, you had a week to talk to these people, and it should be a 250-word summary of what you found out. Make sure you put the name and occupation of the person you interviewed. Okay, this is somebody that you talked to. You're going to lose 10% of your score if you did not put this on here. I need to make sure that it matched who you said you were going to interview last week, okay? So you're going to click Start Assignment, come down here, text entry, type it in. If you did a Word document, you click File, Upload, click Upload File, and you can upload it. These are great insights into your career. You can find out things about your career you didn't learn directly in the classroom. This is your chance to pick someone's brain. This is how you network. This is how you grow. These go on throughout your career. How many people are aware of this? You do this your entire career. You talk to people in your field. How many people? Show of hands. Few people. You will be doing this in your entire career. If not, your career is going to end. If you are not talking to people in your career is going to end. You have to talk to people in your career field. What, you think you're just going to go? They're going to lock you in a box. You're going to do a job and never come back out? You need to learn these skills, okay? The better you are at it, the more chance, opportunities, etc. The biggest majority of jobs that will be available are never posted. You will learn them through networking. I told you, we're going to teach you all the ins and outs, things that you may not know, and why we do them. I tell you the why behind it. Tomorrow, you're going to turn in your signed resume. Now, you can always do these things ahead of time. I have a few people who've already turned in their signed resume. You're going to click in here, do start assignment, upload the picture of your signed resume. Okay. Make sure it does have that signature. I always have one or two people who try to get by not getting that signature, or somehow Career Services didn't sign it. It has to be signed because they have to make sure that your resume is up to par. Now, tomorrow, Princess Phillips from the Orlando Career Services will be our guest speaker tomorrow. So show her love tomorrow. She'll be on. All right. Everybody good? Yes, yes?
Sir, I got a question.
Yes.
What happens if because the assignment for the resume is due tomorrow, but I don't go and sit down with career until Friday? Am I going to get points deducted?
No, absolutely not. Nope, nope, nope. It's an instant fail. So you'll just take the whole course over. No, absolutely not. I take that into consideration. That's why we have you put in the date and when your meeting is. That submit your signed resume. I will keep extending that so that everybody can get that in, because I know everybody cannot get those scheduled. So, no, do not worry about that. The same thing will happen with the mock interview. Not everybody can get those in within that time frame. So I am very lenient on those. I want you to make sure that you can get that resume time and that mock interview time. That is more important than meeting this deadline. Okay. The knowledge you're going to get, the help you're going to get is way more important than me saying, you have to have this done by Thursday. No, that's not important. And any assignment, okay, I want you all to hear this. Any assignment, if I have the ability to extend and help you, I will. But I do have limits. On a regular assignment that is not the mock, that is not the resume, any regular assignment, I cannot extend more than 7 days. So that's why I tell you the week one assignments, I cannot go past week two. Okay. But I will work with you any other way I can. The other thing, discussions cannot have extension. Those are considered participation as though you're in a live classroom. The college does not allow that. The daily live conferences, that is your attendance in the classroom. That's why those don't get extended. Because if you're not in the classroom on a day, you can't go into the classroom the next day and say, I want attendance for the day before. So anytime you can't make a due date or whatever, let me know. Work with me, communicate. The same as you would on a job. Okay. If you don't understand something, ask. If you're on the job and somebody asks you to do something, you go, gosh, I don't understand, and get in your car and drive home. Talk to me. That's the best way. And I appreciate you asking that question because I'm sure other people had that same question. So, no, you will not lose points. Okay. I don't believe in taking points away from people in most situations because education is not a punishment. I want you to have the knowledge. Okay. Because I didn't have this knowledge when I went out and got my first job. And I'll tell you, they beat the tar out of me. Okay. I left college. I thought, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this and this. You know where I ended up working? I was a part time cashier in the electronics department at Walmart. I couldn't even get a full time job. I worked 20 hours in the electronics department at Walmart with my degree. And that was the only job I could get. And no joke, I did not have a car. I had to walk 2 miles to the job because Gainesville did not have a bus system. I worked in Gainesville, Florida. Even though there was a closer Walmart, that one wasn't the one that hired me. I had to walk to the other one. And I was grateful because at least then I could meet my rent payment. And then I listened to the radio station because every week they would give away free food wherever they were at. And I would wait till they were finished and I would ask for all the leftover free food. And I would put it in a garbage bag and I would bring it home and freeze it. And that's what I ate for the week until I figured out how to get my first big break. So I've been in bad situations and I don't want people to go through these things. So when I tell you, listen, I can't make you do these things. I really can't. But I'm hoping you do. Because if you do, these doors will open. But if you're holding them shut, you're the one doing that. Pay attention. There's been a lot of investment into these courses to do this. And if you were not in this school getting this course and you were outside, this course would cost even more than what you're paying here. And how many people know Southern Tech is not cheap? I'll tell you that. Southern Tech is not cheap. You pay for this. But this course as an outside standalone course on how to work at getting a job and doing the resume and doing these things is very, very expensive. And it would be a 1-day course. So pick up on these key things. How many people think the assignments are annoying? Because they can be. You're not going to hurt my feelings. They could be a little bit annoying, but go through them because they're going to teach you the steps. Okay? So humor me, do the assignments, learn the skill. Okay? I know they can be annoying, but we have to make sure that you've picked it up. That's the purpose of those, okay? So there's a method to the madness, and I'm pretty mad, you know. I'm kind of cuckoo. I'm a little out there. I bang my head, you know, to a Quiet Riot one too many times. Great band if you ever get a chance to see them. Uh, but we're all a little crazy now, aren't we? Am I right? I'm right. So let's get to getting on part 2. We're going to see some more about those interviews because we're going to rock those, right? Yes, yes. We're going to rock those interviews. We're going to nail any career we want. So let's do this. Here we go. Let me get control over my cursor. Of course, they're mowing out there today, so I do apologize if you hear that. Mowing around the lake here. They better not scare my alligators. I'm not joking when I say I have alligators out there. I really do. I love my alligators. They don't necessarily love me back, but I love them. Okay, so part 2, the sequel. You didn't think I'd get by without doing a smiley face. I tried, I couldn't. Okay, so when you're going in person, 15 minutes early. Okay, always be early. Take traffic, weather, everything into consideration. If you have to take I-4, leave at least a week early so that you only arrive 1 day late. Seeing if anyone paid attention to I-4. Nobody likes I-4. Know exactly where it's going to be. And if you're not sure, make sure you ask. Okay? Try to go there beforehand so you kind of have a visual. Tell you, I need to give up oxygen. Know their protocol. Okay, what that means is, do you need a visitor pass? Do you have a very specific place to park? Is it a separate lot? Do they validate parking? What that means is, once you're finished with your interview, do they mark your ticket so that you get free parking? Okay, what kind of identification? Anything like that, you need to know. Now, virtual interviews. This is going to be on your midterm too. Now, a thing about the midterm, nobody gets the same questions. It's random. You can help each other, but just don't say, what did you mark for question number 2 or 3? Because their question number 2 and 3 is different than yours. Everybody gets random questions. Okay, so a virtual interview, you don't have to commute. It's like this. The disadvantage is you could have technical difficulties. So make sure that before you do an interview, you have everything you need. Okay. Make sure you have your resume there in case they ask you about it. I always told you, know your resume. But on a virtual one, you have the advantage of having it in front of you. You're going to be asked about it. And make sure you email the person who's going to interview you that resume and anything else they may need, your LinkedIn profile. We're going to create LinkedIn profiles, and if you already have one, update it. These things are important. Keep them updated and use them. It's a free tool to help you get a job. Utilize them. Okay. Now, telephone interviewers. Okay. Make sure you smile when talking on the phone. Okay. I want you to practice when you're talking to friends of that on the phone. Smile. It's going to make you sound happier and more enthusiastic because when you smile, it opens up the mouth and you project naturally. Otherwise, you talk like this and blah, 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 blah. You may think you sound sexy cool, but actually, it just sounds like you have a bunch of garbage in your mouth. Okay. You're not impressing anybody. You're not turning anybody on. Nobody thinks you're the GQ, you know. No, 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 no. Stop it. Open up your mouth, get the marbles out, project your voice. Okay? Even if you're shy, that mumbling does not hide your body. Maybe you weren't very good at hide and seek, but when they told you to hide, nobody said mumble and we can't find you. Okay? So smile when you talk and you will project naturally. We used to hand out mirrors to put by your phone and it says smile. They can hear it in your voice. Do this when you're talking for a phone interview. Sit up, laying back in this. What are you doing? Okay. This is not one of those 900 make me hot phone numbers that they're calling. Sit up. This is a professional call. Just like you are sitting in front of them talking to them, sit up, just like a face-to-face interview. Have everything you need in front of you. Take notes, pen and paper. You can write. Don't sit there trying to type everything into a phone, okay? Make sure it's in a quiet area. You don't want kids running around. You don't want pets running around. You don't want to be at the theme park, okay? Make sure it's a quiet area. Now, video interview. You may use Zoom, Teams, Skype. You may use FaceTime. Make sure that if you're using a camera, you are dressed appropriate, okay? The background's appropriate. You don't have naked people running around behind you. You don't have inappropriate artwork. You don't have things on your shelf, such as smoking apparatuses that you do not want them to see, if you know what I mean, okay? Make sure anything in your background is suitable for work, okay? So make sure not only do you have all that in place, but any software you need to use has already been downloaded, okay? Don't wait until the last minute to do this and try to connect early, okay? And when you're working with the person, look into the camera lens just like you would look into the person's face. That is the person's face. And so you talk to it just the same as you would anybody else. That is where they are. Now, they have 3 normal questions that they're going to ask you: general information, behavioral, and stress. See, we break everything down. Now, general information are going to be some of the ones you hate. Tell me about yourself is one of the top ones, but you got that because you've practiced that elevator pitch. Boom. What jobs have you held? So try to think about the most important ones. Skip the ones that don't relate as well. You don't have to tell every single job. Learn how to summarize and bring out the most important thing that you think they want to hear. What interested you most about the position? You should be able to tell them why you were attracted to it, besides money. Leave money out of this. Think about it. There's other things. Can you grow with this company? Was it the benefit, their longevity? Try to think about things other than money. It's the same thing. Why do you want to work for this company? They're dependable. They're known. I have opportunities. What is your major strength? Think about this. Don't use words like, I believe I can. I think I can. Use words like, I have, I can, I do. Now you're telling me this is definite, not maybe. Show your confidence. And are you comfortable using the technology? Do you know how to use a MIG welder? Do you know how to use a centrifuge? Do you know how to use a microscope? Do you know how to use a voltmeter? You should know what you know. I tell you that over and over, and know the names. So they're going to ask you about the names of the equipment. Know the names of the equipment that you need for your career. I can't tell you the number of times I go into the labs or into the shops and I take a student and I walk them over and I say, what's this called? Oh, I don't know. But you're using it. You don't know what it's called. How can you use things if you don't know what they're called? Because I'm going to ask you when I interview. And I told you, I get hired by companies to interview people. If you can't tell me what it is, the interview is going to end. They'll also ask you about behavioral items. Describe a time when you missed the opportunity to provide the best possible service. I can tell you that. I was working with a client trying to find a prescription pet food in the veterinary office. Another client came in, but because I was wrapped up with this one, I did not address them. What I should have done was say, excuse me, to the client I was working with, looked at the other client and said, I'll be with you in just a moment, and then went back to the first client. But I didn't. So I missed an opportunity. This is legitimate. You can tell an interviewer these things. You do not have to be perfect. And you can admit that you do have flaws. Okay? Describe a situation in which you needed to be creative in order to help a customer. Okay? It wasn't exactly a customer, but we had to help out a hawk that was in a bad situation and was ripping open a wound on it. Now everybody's familiar with the blow up things and that you put on dogs, the cones and that. Well, you can't put one on a hawk, but what we did was we took an old CD, we cut out the center of the CD so that it was big enough to go around the hawk's neck. Boom, slid it over. Hawk can't bite through a CD. There we go, we solved it because you can't buy one of those for a hawk. Now, stress questions. Okay, these two items are both going to be on the midterm, most likely, depending on which questions you get. You might get one of these or both, but these are to see how you're going to react to pressure. They're meant to stress you out. Hypothetical questions, they're going to give you an imagined situation until you're going to react to it. Okay? Now, there's a difference between that and a blue sky question. Blue sky is going to describe a scenario that may not be related to your job. Okay, blue sky simply means out of the clear blue sky, completely off subject. I'm going to give you a question. Hypothetical is related to your job. Okay, and imagine situation how you're going to do it. Blue sky means completely off subject. Know the difference. Okay. Now, there are illegal questions, and some people are still being asked them, but they are illegal. They cannot ask you your age. They cannot ask you what your direct disability is. They cannot ask you your ethnicity or national origin in an interview. They cannot ask you what your gender is in an interview, if you're married or single, or your religion. None of these can be asked in the interview. Okay, on an application, they can ask you for your date of birth. They can ask you if you need accommodations, but they cannot ask you about your direct disability. They may ask you if you would like to tell your ethnicity, but they cannot ask you if you are married or single or your religion. You can ask to decline these answers. Now, you may not be hired because of it, but it is illegal to ask these questions. Okay. And you can report the company if they are. Again, you may not be hired, but these are illegal. Okay. Always have questions to ask the interviewer. Okay. Do not ask about money. Okay. Never. No money. That is not the time to do this. Ask who will I report to? What will be my working hours? Notice you're telling them these will be my working hours. Okay. Tell me what my company culture will be. Okay. How will I get professional development or opportunity to grow? These are questions that you can ask, but you're putting yourself in there saying that I will be here. How will I grow? Who will I report to? You're putting yourself in the company. What you don't ask, what is the salary? How many candidates are you going to interview? May I come back so we can talk about this again? That is not for you to ask. What did you think about my interview? Are you going to hire me? No, do not ask these questions. Okay? These are rude. You will not be coming back. Okay? Don't ask those. All successful interviews begin with preparation. Practice. Okay? Have a list of questions. Have somebody ask you. Do a little mini mock. Think about things that they might come up with and think about your answers. Okay? Use your phone, use a mirror. Have a family member ask you questions. Okay? Make sure your outfit is ready to go. Have all your stuff ready to go. Don't be trying to gather it up the same day. Know how you're going to get there. Plan to get there early and get plenty of sleep. Even if you have to work before, sleep so that if you work, you're still going to be rested. Make sure you look good, you smell good, you're well groomed. Okay? You wear appropriate footwear. If you come looking like you just came in off the street, it's not going to set well. Even if you're in welding, electrical, uh, HVAC, you need to look respectable to show respect to the person doing the interview. Don't go, oh, well, I'm going to be working in a shop. I don't have to look a certain way. Yes, you do. It is respect for the person doing the interview. Everybody got these things? Everybody understand? These are key. I talk to the owners of these businesses. They're telling us what they want. This is what is getting people hired. Listen, listen, listen. Okay? So for today, name 3 things you are looking for in a company for your career, and none of them should be money. Okay? 3 things, but none of them money. So I want you to think about what you're looking for when you go to apply, other than money. Money is something you're going to get on a job. But you need 3 things other than that, because there's more to a career than money. Because money is not going to be the only thing that's going to make you happy in a career. Guarantee it. I'm old, so I should be wise. So I want you to think about that. What else besides money will make you happy? All right? Everybody good for today? Everybody got that? 3 things besides money.
Hey, Mr. Haley, I had a question. When was it we
Yes.
were supposed to turn in the signed resume?
Where do you turn in the resume?
Yeah. Was that an
Okay.
assignment this week or?
Yes, yes, it is. So let me show you right here. It's under Thursday, right here where it says submit your signed resume. Click on that. Oh, there it goes.
Okay.
Click starts there. There you go.
Overlooked it. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Any other questions? All right. So tomorrow, like I said, we'll have a guest speaker and we will be halfway through the class. Can you believe that? Halfway through. So we are getting there. So stay tuned tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Princess Phillips will be here. Y'all continue to be awesome. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.